Let me get into position
Lights
first
on, Rob.
before you go.
Marking for us.
Yeah, wait. Queen, 261, take one. A camera, B camera. Stand by, please.
Ready, and
Ready.
action, play! And that's the Hutterite.
That seemed to go a lot faster.
And you're complaining?
How's that, boys? Switch lenses. Let's have a switch one down.
When I knew that we'd be actually filming in a Hutterite community, that attracted me because I've never done that before, and the idea of working in such an authentic way on a story intrigued me. And when the story itself was so interesting, it's a nice and beautiful story of a boy's growing up process in Saskatchewan and within this Hutterite community. And I just found it a irresistible opportunity to come out here. I love to come out to Saskatchewan anyway. I was out here working on Love and Hate because I find that every time I come here there's a kind of enthusiasm and an energy that you seldom find anymore in the sort of production that happens in the East. There's a freshness here, a newness about production. I was very surprised and delighted to find that at least 80 or 90% of the people involved on this film production are people who are living in Saskatchewan, natives of the province.
Action!
I've tried to be patient, but this time he's gone too far.
I can't believe he stole those goggles.
That airplane foolishness has got to stop. What do I got to do to get through to that boy? Give him a licking?
It wouldn't be the first time.
I thought you might like a little coffee for the trip.
Danke.
Dankeschön.
This is not helping you win Sarah's heart.
Yeah.
Part of this film is its uniqueness to the prairies and its indigenous Canadian content, I guess, if you want to call it that. I think that's really what attracted Ken. There was a high quality project that had a great script, but as well a role for him of playing something that's never been played before. Nobody has played a Hutterite in drama in North America. They've played Amish, but not a Hutterite. So I think that was a real challenge for Ken, and I know he's the kind of guy, now that I've got to know him, that really likes challenges, and certainly he's perfect for the part, and he's doing just a remarkable job.
Scene 75, slate 38, take one.
Stand by. Head. Quiet, please. Background.
Background action!
Action.
Part of the authenticity of the script was that we were actually going to shoot on a real colony and use real Hutterites as characters in the script. So that was a challenge because we had to work with the colony and gain their confidence and get them to read the script and feel comfortable with the characters. And it was not something that happened overnight, and a lot of credit has to go to Marius, who has established that relationship over the last 2 or 3 years. They're thrilled about the opportunity to show the world about, who they are and what they are. And there's a lot of prejudice certainly in this province and probably across North America, with Hutterites, just like the Amish in the States. And they just have their own values, their own morals. They just, basically, they're human beings. They just happen to live a different way than what we live. And I think that Katie, Dan's, the minister's wife, put in a good way that she says they want people to see that we don't have horns and fangs. So this was really the only chance that they could do that. They know the power of television and the power of film. Yet they themselves you know, don't have TV on the colonies or radios.
What are you talking about?
Eli has run away.
Oh, he's probably just hiding. He'll come back when he's hungry.
He's not on the colony. We've searched everywhere.
So that's how they got loose.
What's passing?
The chickens at the restaurant. Eli must have been hiding in the bag.
My God, he's lost in the city.
Oh, let's not get excited. Eli's a smart boy.
He doesn't know city ways.
Well, I'm going back to look for him.
I'm coming too.
I don't think that's necessary.
I lost my husband. I am not going to lose my youngest too. Yeah. I'm not going to lose my youngest too. Yeah. Okay.
I lost my husband. And then you can really keep breathing it.
I lost my husband. I am not going to lose my youngest too.
Yeah, that's exactly
okay.
Good. When I listen to a dialect, it's like listening to music, basically. I actually went out to the colony, and I basically listened to them for about 2 days, or a day and a half or so, and I just sort of inundated myself. I stayed overnight there and was living with the people, talking to them, and just being very intent on seeing their pacing and their way of life. Because when you do a dialect, it's never just how the words sound or the vowels. It has a whole culture behind it. So you have to kind of understand where the people are coming from. So in order to understand that, you have to understand where the voice is placed. And the voice is placed really rather emotionally, and they're very grounded, very rooted, very warm, very rich people in that way. So their voices are very grounded, they're very deep, and they have it has its own undulation and its own intonations. So you have to kind of get used to that, and then what you do for the actor is you get them used to the basics of the sounds of it, and then you have to adjust that so that they can work within their character, within the dialect, because the dialect is like another layer for the actor.
I lost my husband. I am not going to lose my youngest too.
Sam, call Harry at the restaurant. Ask him if anybody's seen Eli. Tell him we'll be there in about 2 hours.
Cut. Good.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
It's very impressive here. First of all, the fact that 3 of the principal performers in the show are Regina actors, and all of them are doing what I would consider really wonderful work. I just played a scene with Gay Burgess, who plays Eli's mother. And Gay is a kind of actress who is right on the moment. Every time there's a subtle shift in emphasis or change in feeling in the scene, she really can reflect it, you know, in her eyes or in a subtle gesture with her face, you know, and it's really a joy to work with someone like that. And Stephen Arsenich, who plays my father, wonderfully kind of warm, generous kind of character that he's creating, you know, very in contrast to my character. He's always trying to make me less and less kind of, you know, rigid, and he's, you know, very, very good at what he's doing in that one. And Robbie Bowen, he has this kind of instant kind of generosity about the way he expresses himself. Unusual for a boy his age, I would say, kind of pre-adolescent. But as a result, has an intense kind of charm in this role that I think is going to be extremely valuable, considering that he is the main player, you know.
Just settling on going for a ride.
Cutting.
Oh, no, on the yeah, okay. You do another one.
One of the key elements for Eli's lesson is Eli, and that there has to have a certain innocence in the character and a certain magic. And casting someone who's never acted before is both a pro and a con for a director. The con side, of course, is that the person's never acted before, and you're never quite sure what you're going to get, and that talking to them in person or doing an audition is a lot different than having 60 people and lights and cameras and marks and all that. The pro side, though, far outweighs that, is if a person has magic like Robbie does, it is just there. And as a director, you just shape it and mold it, and he has no other experience. And so I am the first director, basically, to work with him, And so there is a teamwork that he and I have built up, and I think it shows, you know, it shows on the screen that he has that magic personality, and that when you look at the character, when you look at him, you have to have a feeling, because you can have your Kenneth Welsh and Jack Palances, but if you don't have an Eli, the show doesn't fly. Pardon the pun. So.
Okay, here we go, and action!
What's those two?
Going for a ride.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Chickens.
Give me the keys.
Can.
Now get back to your chores.
Cut. John? Yep. Gate. Bingo, bingo. Check the gate, please. I like that one.
Eli's a Hutterite boy who wants to fulfill his dream of being a pilot. The script, it said Eli is a young boy with a Peter Pan-like, what did it say now? Peter Pan-like qualities. And everybody was saying that I was like that.
Take another one, put the baby.
Yeah, Kelly. Yeah, actually, it's probably a good idea having both the split tracks there.
This time I'll have the tractor start, let me see, 30, 40 feet closer to us.
Move the truck a little bit quicker.
And delay Eli by about a half a second.
Okay, and how about the truck? How about
The truck can go a little faster. If it can go a little faster, if Jake can handle it. Okay, let's print that one though, okay? Yes. Well, I mean, this is the shot that's going to have to take us out for a while too. So I mean, we need to buy time on this.
You want to do it again?
Let's do one more. And pull the tractor in even closer. Okay, stand by. There.
Sound speed.
Mark it.
Scene 34, plate 36, take 2.
Ready, and action truck. Action green tractor. Eli. And cut. Cutting. Pardon me? Good. And Eli looked like he did really well. Here, see, right on the key. That was good.
Well, I can see his face.
Okay. Yes.
Did the car be here by then? Okay. All right.
There's two people, three people basically on a set that have to set the pace of the set. That's the first assistant director, the director, and the director of photography. All have directors on their name. But the director really is the one that he has to know, or he or she has to really have a certain attitude, and especially when you're under duress and stress. It's my personality. I don't get stressed out. I think I understand the concepts of the business well enough to be able to work with everybody, and I think that's the key element there. And that for me, yes, I get my name on as a credit as director, but I listen to a lot of everybody. And if someone has a better idea than I do, which is a lot of the times they do, and I make sure that they tell us and we put it in and we do it, because for me it's the story. And how I work as a director is I try to get everybody together, everybody, actors and wardrobe and art, and say, what do you think? What do you want to do? What can we do to make this better? The script is just what you start on. From there, you can mold it, bend it, shape it, you know. And if you ever looked at a script, you know, when it sort of said, okay, this is what we've bought, and we'll put the money down, and the final production, there's a vast difference. The story's the same, the scenes are the same, but within it, there's all these constant changes that everybody brings to it. And I think that's probably one of the most important jobs I have as a director, is just to call all this information and then say, as long as I know the intent of every scene and what I want to get out of the story, I can change lines and dialogue, I can do this, I can do that, just to make it better. So I think it's important to listen. That's what I do. I listen.
Okay, so probably, what do you think? I imagine something in there, better framed, of course, but is that what you're thinking of? Right.
Well, actually, I thought I was going to write
not doing anything, there's one guy.
Second unit, or as we've been calling it, B camera, or as Ken and Ron and I call ourselves, beer camera, are responsible for a lot of pickups. It's usually stuff where the principal actors are not involved. It might be a wide shot of the colony, or the truck drives down the road, or that sort of thing. But as we've gone along and the days get longer, the A camera team wasn't able to get all the things they needed, so we go back and clean up, getting close-up of a hand, flicking on a light switch, or shots like that. So we like to think we're the unsung heroes.
I bet you can't do that twice in a row.
Twice in a row. How about two? Hold on. Okay. I gotta go to work.
Pick those up. Come on, pick them up and put them in the garbage, please. Thank you, Christian. Good man.
She's the meanie of the group.
I'm a meanie.
Mr. Palance being around, there's all kinds of people who want to see him and whatnot, so we're just making sure nothing gets too out of hand.
Oh, I was so excited when Jack Palance came on. I was just thrilled to bits. The producer, Kevin, and the director, Peter, phoned me and said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, sit down." So I did. And they said, "We've got Jack Palance." And I said, "Ah!" And I phoned all my friends, and now they're all deaf. So it was very exciting. And I had a chance to meet with Jack and spend some time with him. And he was very charming and cordial. And I'm very excited to see the final product.
Ready? And action.
Trick or treat? Why did you come back?
I had nowhere else to go.
What happened to your friends?
They're not my friends.
But why did you break into my house?
I didn't want to. Steve took my goggles, and he wouldn't give them back unless I helped him.
I see. But you knew what you were doing was wrong.
I think it's a beautiful story. I really do. I think it's a beautiful story about dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. The hell with people who say it can't be done. They don't know anyway. The only thing that they know is that they're disappointed, perhaps, and lost theirs a long time ago. And I think it's good to watch dreams grow. And you can.
To let one's dreams die because others say it can't be done. That is a terrible thing. People once said that humans would never fly. I'll bet you that the first person to prove them wrong was somebody who made airplanes out of paper, just like this.
It's hard to believe that all this is happening, and it's, I think, wow, it's my script, with the collaboration of some really good writers like Aurora, and Glenn is guiding us. And this is a big chunk of Peter's direction, which is, I don't know, this is more than I imagined. One time, you know, I was walking along and I felt I generated a lot of this, and it's a really good feeling. It is.
Hey. Action, Rob. Here's something. 1, 2, 3, move. Where's Terry?
What's your problem?
Those are mine.
I don't think so.
That boy stole them.
This, boy.
What are you supposed to be?
He's a Hutterite. You know, farmers that don't have TVs and don't dress the same.
Can I have my goggles back, please?
Sure.
Danke.
Not so fast. We do this the dead Druid way. You know how to box?
No, I can't.
So you're a chicken then?
I'm not a chicken. I hate chickens.
Fine. They're mine.
That's not fair.
Well, I really want to be fair.
Well, I'm the leader of a street gang, and I meet up with Eli and, you know, sort of get him to, because I have his goggles, so I sort of, you know, bribe him to get in this house, and because we can't get in, we want to steal some stuff, and, you know, but then the guy comes home and we just take off, and he's a bad guy, right, and the other gang members aren't that bad, you know. They sort of have a little bit of good in them, but Steve doesn't. He's all bad. He's lost all of his good parts, you know. So.
What do you want?
I want you to help Terry finish off her initiation tonight.
But I thought I was finished.
Whatever gave you that idea?
I took something from the mall, just like you said.
And tonight you're gonna finish the rest of your initiation.
In grade 2 and 3, I used to be a total tomboy. I hated girls, and I had no girlfriends. Well, maybe my sister, and then I was always with boys playing soccer and stuff, right? And so it wasn't too hard to try playing the role of a tomboy. So I didn't really do anything.
Up another 20. Yeah, okay, that's got that. Now, let's drop in a, let's drop the double, leave that single in and drop the double in it, okay? Yeah. Also, in 12 up there.
Adding or instead?
Adding.
Okay. What's the clearance? How high can we go here to clear the wing? If we block it.
We'll go up on the baby. You can avoid, just avoid the bucket and the light. Look at the center of the two. That was. Oh, okay. Are you seeing this right in front of you?
Yeah.
What's the other side of this thing like?
Our next shots will be down here, of Chris coming down.
Hold on.
Or of the plane coming down and run, and Chris coming down. And then we do a shot of Chris stopping, looking around the plane in the background. And, oh, what else? Geez, we're doing okay here. No problem.
It's also big time. It's not very good, is it?
Lights on. Actor awake. Hey. Make sure Robbie knows. Same thing all the way down, every shot. Stand by up there. Stand by. And roll sound, please.
Speed.
Sound speed.
Let me get into position
Lights on,
first
Rob.
before you go.
Marking press.
Yeah, wait.
15, 261, take one. A camera, B camera. Stand by, please. Ready, and.
Ready. Ready.
Action, play.
That seemed to go a lot faster.
And you're complaining? How was that, boys? Switch lenses and let's have Chris run down.
It's been a very team effort from a company standpoint. And I guess, there are some tricks of the trade that I guess that you learn. Being a producer is a tricky business. It's a very, in one sense, very creative. You have to be very creative in terms of how you can pitch 6 or 7 different backers on a project and keep them all moving at the same level of committing to your project at the same time when none of them have committed. So you have to come up with some, certain ways and certain things that you do, and it's a learning process certainly. And I think in hindsight, maybe we could have speeded the process up by 2 years had I known what I know now when I started. So I think that the next one will be a lot easier.
There's a lot of reasons for me to be out here shooting, and the story's one, and coming back to Saskatchewan is for me is very interesting. They said that the old joke is you can't go back home, but I guess I proved them wrong. I could come back, and it's a very good feeling because it adds more person. It's the story itself being set in Saskatchewan is something is something more for me, than just a story. It's where I grew up.
Check. Okay, this is Wild Sound singing of the hymn to cover scene 14 for playback. Name of the song is?
Jesu, Jesu, Brunnen des Lebens.
Take one.
Jesu, Jesu, Brunnen des Lebens, stell dich bei uns ein, dass wir jetzt und nicht vergebens wirken und beisammen sein. Du verheißest ja den Deinen, dass du wolltest Wunder tun und in ihnen willst erscheinen. Erfüll's auch nun. Again?
Do you know the sound good?